What's up, guys? We're talking about the Pirates today. They've gotten off to a pretty good start. The NL Central is loaded. I've talked about every team except the Reds are next. Their pitching is really good. I like watching Bubba Chandler. Sometimes you really can't find the zone. Paul Skeens obviously is top 3 in the league. With Scooble hurt, he might be the best pitcher in the league. I don't think that's a crazy take or anything. He has been really, really good the last couple starts. If they had gotten, their offseason additions are Hearn and Brandon Lau. They traded for Lau, but have been really, really good for them. Reynolds has played all right. Ono Cruz is hitting, striking out a ton. Connor Griffin, the stat where his stats as a 19-year-old compared to him as a 20-year-old have been pretty crazy. He's been one of the best players in the league since he's turned 20 years old, which is kind of crazy. Like, not like obviously a light went off or anything. I think he's just slowly adjusting to the league and having better at bats. Plays good defense. If they would have got if Marcell Ozuna was hitting, I'd be a little bit more high on this team. I just don't know. They have a pretty good farm system. Their bullpen has been pretty good. It's just tough with this division. I think they are going to be buyers, though. Yeah, with their starting rotation is going to keep them in a lot of games, but you got to think that they need more bats. And a common take that I saw on them in the offseason was, obviously they didn't know how bad Marcell Ozuna was going to hit, but they didn't like this signing because it really clogs their DH, and that forces O'Hearn to go play the outfield. And O'Neal Cruz has had some shaky moments in the outfield. And then Brian Reynolds isn't great in the outfield either. And then you got Brandon Lau, who's not a good defender at second. And I don't know how well Spencer Horwitz grades out at first. But yeah, they have a pretty bad defense. And then with inconsistent offense, I like I said, a couple guys they brought in that have hit well. I think they just got to lean in more into some defense. Like, obviously you need guys that can hit, but with how good their pitching is, I think you could just, and they have more pitching on the way as well, like, you could really just build around that pitching staff and have some great defense, and then just find a way to get 3 or 4 runs a game. I think they will probably finish right outside of the playoffs. It's going to be hard to have, it's not unheard of by any means to have 3 teams in the same division make the playoffs. It actually probably happens pretty often. But with how bad the NL East has been, I think they can make a run at it. The Phillies are playing much better. And the Braves have been the best team in baseball. So I think they're likely to be 2 teams in the playoffs. And then obviously the Dodgers in the NL West. And then the Padres have been pretty good. So, like, I think that the wild card race is going to be pretty interesting, to where teams like obviously no one's a lock this early into the season, a quarter of the way. But teams like the Padres, I'm a little low on the Diamondbacks. The Giants haven't been great. Playing a little bit better here lately. I think they won 5 in a row. But they haven't been good. The Mets have been horrible, but other teams like the Marlins could make some noise. I still don't think they're there yet. They did win like 80 games last year. But yeah, the wild card is going to be very interesting. You got like my Cardinals, who who could be competitive for most of the year. I still think they're going to sell at the deadline, but yeah, I think the Pirates are going to have to make another move at the deadline to see. I really don't know what you go target, though. I mean, maybe you just, if Ozuna doesn't pick it up, you just go target another DH type bat or someone who can play the outfield. I really don't know what you do there. But yeah, their pitching has been great. And that rotation, that starting rotation is going to be scary if it gets into even a wild. I mean, they're likely a wild card team if they make it. But seeing Paul Skeens, that's obviously really scary. And then a guy like Mitch Keller, who's been a solid vet for a while, and then Bubba Chandler could be up and down if he can't find the strike zone, but he's a guy you don't really want to see, who on his best day you could easily see 6 shutout with like 10 strikeouts. I think they're a very interesting team to watch and to follow. And I think the pressure's on. I mean, this is year 3 of Skeens, so you only have 3 more after this. I think he's definitely not going to sign an extension with him. He's going to probably set a record when he hits free agency. It's just crazy how fast things can come up to where now that you got Connor Griffin, you got him on the extension, so you don't have to worry about that. But, I mean, those 2 guys, and then you got a guy like Seth Hernandez who's throwing really well in the lower levels, who's probably going to be up in maybe 2027. Not likely going to rush him up this year. Another really interesting outfield prospect in Edward Florentino. So they have a good farm system. But you're kind of transitioning into a win-now period with a team that hasn't made the playoffs in a while, which is something you don't see very often, to like a team that is on the outside looking in trying to make the playoffs, and now they're almost in a win-now mode in the next 3 years. So it's very interesting. Something that's, I'll show my bias a little bit. I think Paul Skeens has like 5 or 7 career losses. I think it's 7 career losses, and 5 of them are against the Cardinals. I don't know why, but the Cardinals do so well hitting off of him. It's not like they've ever put up a 10 spot on it or nothing, but they always seem to get 2 or 3 runs off of him, which is like great when you're facing a guy like that. But yeah, I'll talk about the Reds next. I was honestly a little bit higher on them coming into the season, but seeing how the season has played out, I'm a little lower. Obviously, the Hunter Green injury has something to do with that, but yeah, I'll see you next time talking about the Reds.